Welcome to another edition of AFL Today, Week 13 in review. I'm your host, E-Money, and we're going to break down all the action in arena football. Game number one, can you believe that the Utah Blaze won with defense? Amazing. And a couple games later, we're going to talk about Grand Rapids winning in amazing fashion with the last-second field goal. Could the Rhino be on a rampage late in the season? All this and more as we get into it. All right, folks, here we go. Week 13 in review. Game one, Utah brings its defense to Orlando. Comes out with a victory 65-62 and puts the brakes on, I believe, a 5-game skid. These guys were at top of the Western Conference and watched themselves slide down. And it took Tom Pace and 3 onside kick recoveries and a great defensive stand as Utah get a much-needed win in the jungle. Congratulations. We'll see if they can keep going. Preds on the other side, I think these guys are in the playoffs here. I believe they're 7-3. So again, I think they're the worst 7-win team out there, but we'll see what Jay Gruden has in store for the playoffs. All right, next game on the docket, San Jose takes a trip to Nashville. No surprise, San Jose wins 48-34, although Nashville is one of these teams that, again, you don't know how they're going to play, consistent or inconsistent. San Jose proving now they can win on the road and not just at home, and these guys are, again, look like, as we talked about earlier, another Western Conference championship in their back pocket. All right, next game, moving on. Avengers 56, Kansas City 62. And the inconsistent Avengers rear their ugly head, as we had talked with Silas last week, in the way they dominated the Georgia Force. I thought things were looking up for the Avengers. Apparently, they're back to their old ways, as some key interceptions late with some tip balls and too much Raymond Filial. The Avengers could not come out of the hangar with a much-needed win, and they fall again. And KC now looking dead dead straight to get to the playoffs. These guys are excited. They got momentum. Look for great things coming in to KC. All right, next game on the docket. Let's move on. Dallas Desperados take a trip to Columbus, and once again, Columbus still plays them tight, but can't come away with a victory as Dallas pulls it off with a last-second interception. 56-47 as the Dallas train continues to roll. Columbus still struggling. Again, these guys are a solid team, but now at 500, they got to start picking up late in the season here. All right, next game on the docket. Tampa with a big win streak rolling gets a wake-up call. Now again, when I saw Tampa play the Avengers a few weeks ago and they come out with a win, that was a battle of probably the worst two playing teams. I knew Tampa wasn't for real. I still don't think they're for real. And Georgia kind of gave him a reality check, and CJ was just unstoppable, making spectacular catches, still proving that he still has it. And I don't know, again, if Tampa's going to have enough to come out with some quality wins here late to make in the playoffs, but they definitely got a wake-up call. They need to improve their game if they're going to do something. All right, next game on the docket, Colorado Crush. You would think chalk this one up as a win versus Grand Rapids, but this is a new Grand Rapids. I'm telling you, the Red Rhino is back, and a last-second field goal to win it, 58-56. This is normally a kind of game that Grand Rapids would always lose, but Sparky found something in his guys, and they played spectacular at home, trying to get the home crowd back into it. And the Crush are wondering what went wrong as Grand Rapids takes away. Timon Marshall, this guy is a living highlight reel, man. This guy's spectacular to watch. Anytime you can see Grand Rapids, tune in because you're going to be impressed. We'll see if they can carry out this winning trend here, see if they can squeak in the playoffs. All right, next game on the docket. Let's talk about Chicago Rush versus hopeless and hapless Arizona. I called it a couple weeks ago. This team is done. They pulled up a token victory last week, maybe to preserve Nudo's job till the end of the year, but I think they're definitely going to make a coaching change. Shedrick Bonner, all the veterans, I don't know if they have another year left in the tank. We'll see. But Arizona's done as they lose 53-47. Duan Alfonso for the Rush. Man, spectacular. I'm telling you, you're not missing much with Scipio out. But again, this is a key win for them. They're, again, already locked in the playoffs. I think when Scipio gets well come the playoffs, these guys are going to be a hard team to stop. All right, let's move on. Philadelphia Soul continues to roll with Graziani, 76 to Austin 66. Austin's got to be happy about the 66 points. Nonetheless, this team is far from doing anything this year. Worst record of the year, I think they're 3-9. And these guys need a lot of help, and they're going to make some major offseason changes. Again, Philly's excited. It's amazing what a quarterback does, and we're going to talk about New York in a second. But especially on the East Coast, Philly and New York, their star quarterbacks come back, and everything gets solved. The defense plays better, special teams plays better, everything. That's what a leader can do, so got to hand it off to Philadelphia now, looking squarely in the playoff picture here, and look for great things to happen in that franchise. All right. Next game on the docket, Monday night. The best, like they've been saving the best games of the week for Monday night, and I know the Arena League's happy about that. New York 69, Voodoo 63. New York takes a trip to the graveyard. Andy Kelly played well until he got his foot rolled over, put in the young kid. And Voodoo continued. Again, they were down by 2 possessions pretty much the whole game. Got a key onside reception. Came back, and the way their defense was playing, they could not stop Aaron Garcia. He was fabulous. So what they decided to do, they had a minute left, they milked the clock, they purposely did not score, trying to make it to a 4th down, kind of taken away from what Dallas did a few weeks ago. 4th and goal, the Voodoo decided, hey, let's wait till the last second to score so we don't give New York the ball. Thought they had it, but Belisari could not get in as New York denied them in the graveyard, and I was as shocked as anyone. I thought for sure he was going to break the play, but nonetheless, I think it was a perfect call for the Voodoo because they couldn't stop AG all night long. So they put it in their own hands and put it in the O-line's hands, and they could not do it. Fantastic defense for you, New York. Got to hand it to them. And a great game, again, come down the wire, and that's a perfect example why you need to watch. Again, the 4th quarter is where it all happens. 2-possession game. If you were in the outdoor league, you would have turned it off a long time ago. But here you have New York, again, staring defeat in the face, although they dominated the whole game. And to see it come down to that, fantastic. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, All Money Team Players of the Week. All right, folks, welcome back to AFL Today, Week 13 in review. Now we're talking the All Money Team Players of the Week. Let's give it up to the individual performances that made it happen. Let's start with the Iron Man. Got to give it up to Tom Pace, former Rattler, now Utah Blaze, putting up a fantastic performance on all sides of the ball. Touchdown receptions and 3 onside kick recoveries. Tom was everywhere. Got to hand it to him. Way to go in the Iron Man position. All right, let's talk about defense, and I have to hand it to each and every one on the New York Dragons defensive line. These guys made the 4th quarter, last second play, win the game, stop when they needed to, and bear down and made it happen. Got to hand it off to each one of those guys as a unit for getting it done, stopping New Orleans in their house. So way to go, Dragons D. All right, let's talk about offense. A lot of great contenders that we could have, but I got to give this one to Chris Jackson, CJ of the Georgia Force, formerly Avenger standout. Chris proven year after year he can get it done. Coming up, still now in his early to mid-30s, still, again, getting it done against these younger guys. And again, he's not blazingly fast, but again, a great second move guy, great possession receiver, and still knows how to control his body, make those great receptions. And he's the reason that Georgia is doing as well as they are. Got to hand it to him. Chris Jackson, Offensive All-Money Team Player of the Week. All right, folks, that wraps up this edition of AFL Today. Make sure to join us next week as we're going to have all kinds of surprise guests and break down Week 14. Until then, God bless everybody.